Sort of, kind of.
Okay.
I guess.
Now, dear listener, I'm sure you're wondering, Isaiah, you're talking a lot of shit about like how to do it right and how to do it wrong. You want some examples? Because I got some examples. I got like two big ones, really. And the first one, I think, arguably one of the best in cinema is Star Wars. Specifically from episode 3 to episode 6.
Okay.
Like that very specific time frame. Yeah, I mean, and like, yes, you could argue the prequels, but Anakin as a child and Padawan don't really matter so much. Like they do because, you know, he's the chosen one to bring balance to the Force. But like, it's really his actions in 3 that really mold Anakin as the character he's going to be. And it is Luke's actions in 6 that very specifically mold him into the character he was meant to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in this, right, because Luke is the original protagonist of Star Wars. But with the information of the prequels, Anakin's the real main character, right? Like he's literally the chosen one. And Luke at no point undermines Anakin. That's the big thing that I think makes it work so well, right? Yes, Luke does beat Anakin in a direct duel. However, Anakin is mostly robotic, is cut off highly from the amount of force he could have because he's mostly robotic, and is hindered by his suit and doubt. Whereas Luke has none of those things in that moment, right? He's got a robotic hand, but that's not really limiting his ability to use the Force, and he is still the better Force user, while Anakin is canonically the better duelist. Yeah. So in a Amuro to Camille comparison, right? Amuro is the better pilot, Camille is the stronger fucking psychic, and like, I chose this very specifically because Gundam has a lot of inspiration from Star Wars. Like the new types are just Force users. It works literally the same, or not literally, but practically the same way. Yeah. And just like how Luke does not undermine Anakin as a protagonist, Camille does not undermine Amuro. They sort of play off each other and complement each other, where Amuro is this successful hero who's got a lot of baggage from the things that he fucked up in when he was the main character, that he can sort of impart the sage wisdom to Camille, who will screw up, right? Because he's still a kid, in where Amuro was also a kid when he screwed up. But he learns much faster and is able to rise to the same level as Amuro far sooner. And yes, again, arguably surpasses him in some way, but not others. Amuro still has his very, very powerful strengths, just like Camille does. Just like how Luke, again, the better Force user, is arguably a far worse duelist.
I mean, if you also think about it, up until episode 6, Luke was told he was the chosen one. And it wasn't until he got his ass handed to him and eventually realized in episode 6, he was like, no, wait, I'm actually not supposed to be. I think it's even in the duel with Vader, where he's like, wait, I'm not supposed to be the one that kills the Sith. Oh, I'm screwing up. And then, spoiler for a 30-year-old movie, Vader kills Palpatine.
Yes. And
actually, 50-year-old movie. Fuck.
And in doing that, right, Luke helps Anakin. They sort of become co-protagonists and bring balance to the Force together. So this, like, right, the legacy has assisted the older generation while enforcing the new one. And like a perfect synchronicity. That's like perfect passing on of the torch. You've paid just the perfect amount of honor to what came before, and you're exciting people for what comes after. Now you might be asking yourself, what's the bad example?
Yeah.
It's Naruto. Because of course it is, right? It has to be.